take some time with self-reflection and in hopes to define what it means to be aware. Please welcome Mayra Ramos, and her speech is Emotional Intelligence.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Today I would like to explore with you another aspect in our road to self-improvement. And with that, I would like to ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever been that very passionate board member whose voice you can hear a mile away from the meeting room?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Have you ever catch yourself arguing a minute longer than what you probably should have just to prove a point? Yeah. Did you see yourself doing these things? Did you catch yourself doing these things? Sometimes. There you go. So, in those situations, looking back at my opportunities and my times, I would have wished to have a neuralizer. You know what a neuralizer is? Yeah, you see Men in Black. In Men in Black, they have a flashy thing that you can enter the days and the times to the minute and the seconds when you had your outburst, and you wish you can flash away the memory of your spectators at that time. I wish I had one of those. I would love to have one. Unfortunately, I don't have access to that technology yet. But what I do have, and what we do have, is the ability to recognize and see and feel our emotions as they take place, as they happen. And can you guess how this ability is called? Can you guess? Emotional intelligence. Correct. Emotional intelligence is built by different components, right? But today we're going to focus on one, just one. And it's called self-awareness and what it means to be aware. We're going to reflect on how do we become aware. You know, before we know what it is, I want to tell you what it doesn't look like. And thinking back in time and thinking back in my opportunities in my career 7, 8 years ago, I can remember a co-manager come with me and say, Mayra, I need to talk to you. She got me into the room, sat me down and closed the door. And she basically said, you're killing your people. You are so hard on them. You need to slow down. And you can only imagine my surprise. You can only imagine my disappointment. And among all things, I was super angry. I remember being so angry. I can almost feel the blood coming up right now from that moment. So what do they need it from me? Why was I so angry? Because in my head, in my mind, I was giving them all I had. I was giving them that side-by-side, hold your hand kind of training. So what else do they want? Since that wasn't enough. They needed me to be aware. Aware of the way you come across when you talk to me. Aware of the type of relationships we needed to build. This is one of those moments when you think about, if I would have known then what I know now. And what I wish I would have known then that I know now is that there's books that you can read about it. This material that can help you be better. There's a book that I'm reading right now. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Bradbury and Greaves. And this book feels more like a manual. This manual tells you to go do stuff. The first thing that it tells you to do is to go take an emotional appraisal online. You take a test, and it tells you where do you stand in the subject of emotional intelligence. But not only tells you where do you stand, it also tells you what to do about where you stand, about your opportunities. So we want to become more self-aware. Mayra, how do we become more self-aware? What can we do? Well, today I want to share 3 strategies with you. Strategy number 1. It tells you to feel your emotions as they happen. You see, maybe you know by now about me that I blush. So you can see the blood coming up through my cheeks and I'm turning pink. So I advise you to feel, because we all have those physical cues. If you're a strong poker player, you know, right? You sit down and you just watch. This person is going to give her away. So feel your emotions as they take place and take a note of them. It also tells you to watch the ripple effect of your emotions. So you ever taken a rug and throw it out to the water, right? And when you throw it out to the water, you can see the waves coming out, right? You can see the waves, the effect of that emotion. So emotions are the same way. Reactions and things happen after you throw your emotions out there. And number 3, it also tells you to know yourself. Self-reflect on who pushes your buttons. And you know who pushes your buttons. You know who, makes you tick. So that's what it tells you to do. It tells you maybe keep a journal on when these situations are taking place. So by now, I hope that you can remember that although we don't have that flashy thing from Men in Black, there is materials that you can read, and you do have the ability to recognize your emotions as they happen. You can also improve them by taking that test, knowing where it is that you stand. You can learn the strategies that you can take. And in all things, I want you to remember that your road to self-improvement will always be a work in progress. Thank you.